Hey there, gang. Patrick King here, coming at you from, where am I? Stanton, Virginia tonight. Got a question for you today from Maureen. Maureen sends in the question about using food as a reward. She says, I was taught never to do that. I give treats, but only after a training session, not during or as part of the lessons. What are your thoughts? So I guess I have a couple thoughts on using food as a reward. Basically, if we think about it, that's the standard positive reinforcement idea. When the horse does something good, they get the positive on the other side of that, a treat, a cookie, something like that. It doesn't always have to be that. Positive reinforcement basically means you're giving something, a bonus, right, to reinforce the appropriate behavior. Now, there's lots of training programs out there. Clicker training is one that comes to mind that starts out using quite a bit of treats as a reinforcement through part of the sessions. Eventually, the clicker itself it takes over, right, for the food treat response as part of the positive reinforcement. But that's something that, feeding horses treats and giving cookies and giving food rewards during training, a lot of times that gets kind of a bad rap. And I think a lot of that comes down to consistency on the part of the human. It becomes a situation where if there's not so much solid discipline trained in the horse, there becomes a mooching, a banging, almost a taking over kind of a perspective from the horse's point of view. And that, of course, we would never want to reinforce, right? The horse taking over in a situation like that, or the horse just constantly begging. It's something like your dog begging at the dinner table, or, your child saying, oh, I want that candy, I want that toy, I want that candy, I want that toy. It can become the same way, and honestly, my thoughts are the same with horses, with dogs, with kids. I've got the idea or the philosophy that if they don't ask, there might be a bonus. If they do, there probably won't be. So it comes down to, I think, a big part of that too. When we use the food or the treat as a reward, are we using it as a bonus or are we using it as a bribe? Because a lot of times we see folks end up using it as a bribe also, as a replacement for understanding or confidence or relaxation on the horse's part. And that eventually comes back to bite us in the butt as far as the horse can kind of become obsessive about that, or again, sort of becoming a mooch. So in the end, what I really think is important for us to focus on is our consistency in management and expectations. Do I think treats are a bad thing? Absolutely not. Do I think they only exist at the end of a session? Absolutely not. I think they're appropriate whenever. Again, it goes back to it's the standard positive reinforcement idea. And I think, if we're going to use them, we should be able to use them at any point during the session, as frequently as we want to during a session. Now, if the horse starts to take over and become a mooch, we've got to look at ourselves and say, where am I messing up in the program that they think that is appropriate? So, Maureen, I hope that's helped to answer your question, and I hope that helps anybody out there who's interested in understanding that a little bit better. I think food is great, treats are great all the time, when they're used appropriately, right? As a friend of mine says, everything works sometimes. Let's just make sure it doesn't work against us. Hope that's helpful, gang. Please feel free, give me some comments down here in the comments section below if you found this helpful. If you have some friends that maybe would like to hear this information or maybe need to hear it, please feel free, tag them in the comments or share this video directly with them. I've got a question of the day for everybody. Since we're talking about using food and treats as a reward, what sort of food rewards or treat rewards do you use for your horse? Does your horse have a special treat that he prefers? Let me know what that is in the comments section below the video here. Looking forward to hearing and reading your answers. Thanks so much, gang. Don't forget, you keep sending in your questions. I'll keep talking about horses.